So I think the youth had a good time. For those of you that were here, did you have fun?
Yeah.
What was your favorite part? What did you guys like? Yeah. Spray. And I'll tell you about Diet Coke. Squirting me. Okay, everybody squirted me. It was amazing because at the beginning of UBS, every day I would spike my hair up. So I'd put a ton of gel into it, and then I'd spray it with hairspray, and then I'd take a blow dryer to it just so it would stand up. And it stood up the entire night, except on Diet Coke night. I had that much in it, but by the time it was done, my hair was completely flat. And what was so amazing was it felt like I had just come out of the greatest shower ever. I mean, my hair was just completely felt shampooed. My face felt clean. If you ever run out of water, take a bottle of Diet Coke and just wash yourself down with it. It's amazing. It felt great. So, did you guys like anything else? You like the Diet Coke the most? Anything else? Mac? Running in the Oobleck, yes. The Oobleck, yeah. Oobleck is neat. For those of you that never heard of it or saw it, it is a non-Newtonian fluid, which means it exhibits both qualities of a solid and a liquid. If you hit it really hard, your hand stays on top of it. But if you just push into it, your hand just sinks right down into the middle of it. So you can pick it up, you can make it into a ball while you're squeezing it, but the second you stop squeezing, it would fall back down out of your hands. Which means if you are fast enough, what can you do? Yeah, you can run on top of it. So in those pictures, you see Oobleck. If they stood still, they would sink down into it. But as long as they kept moving, they could run on top of it the whole way. So we had lots of fun at Bible school. We did different experiments. What I'd like to do today is I'd like to go through the first lesson again. So this would be new to a lot of you, old to some of you. So if you know the answer, or if you already know what I'm going to say, don't spoil it. Or if you know what the experiments are, don't spoil it for everybody else, okay? Thank you. I need to die. Okay. So I start off by asking you guys, have you guys ever been mean before? Anybody raise your hand if you've been mean? Yes. Yes? Mean? What? Oh, yeah. Okay, I've been mean. I'll tell you a different story. I've been mean before. Everybody's been mean, but I've been mean. Okay, listen, I had this cat named Sarah. I had a cat named Sarah, and she was a mean cat. She was the devil cat. That's what we used to say. I'm pretty sure she was the devil's cat, down with the devil, and then somehow she made it up here and she became my cat. I'm not sure if that's what happened or not, but she was really mean. You would go walk into a room sometimes, just walking through, and she'd be like just really, really mean cat. So I thought, hey, if she's going to be this mean to me, then I'm going to be mean to her. Now here's the trick. I don't want you to try this at home, but here's what happens. If you take a long tube sock, like a long sock, not the short socks, but a long sock, and then if you tie it around the cat, right here around their back, so it comes from the bottom and stays above their tail. If you tie it around there, do you know what happens? They can't use their back legs. They just get real stiff like this, and they can use their front legs, but they can't use their back legs. So sometimes to be mean, I would do that to Sarah. I'd tie it around her back legs, and then she'd be like, hopping around, like she wanted to get me. And I used to laugh at it. I thought it was so fun, seeing a cat hop around like this. Well, one time one of my friends came over and I thought, oh, I should show my friend this trick. This is so awesome. So I did it. I took Sarah here and I tied her, and my friend was over there, and I tied her around Sarah's back, and she went, meow! She went running right for my friend. And my friend went running out of the room screaming, and she was so scared that the devil cat was going to kill her. And I was kind of mean, right? That's kind of mean, right? Anybody planning on doing that to their cat when they get home? Because Pastor Pete's going to get in trouble if you do. Uh-oh. You don't have a cat. If you do it to my cat, she's going to have a heart attack and die. She's 18 years old. Okay. Okay, so I was mean to a cat. Who are you guys mean to? Who were you mean to? Mac?
A cat.
Are you mean to your cats? Okay. Donna?
Your sisters.
All of them? Yes, okay. Delane? Brother and your sisters?
My cat is older than yours.
Yeah. Just point back and forth to each other, okay? Ethan's named to Dalton, Dalton's named to Ethan, okay? Anybody else? Your sister? You're mean to everybody, sweetie, everybody. Aaron?
Everyone.
You're mean to Josh, is he? Yes, are you mean back to Aaron? Okay, so we're all mean. Jake and Tyler, you guys mean? To each other, okay? Everybody's mean. Everybody is mean sometimes. And today's story that I want to tell you about is about a really mean guy. He's a mean guy. Yes. Oh, I'll show you in a second. I'll show you. There's experiments that we're going to do in the middle of the story, okay? Well, there's nothing. Like nothing's going to go. It's going to go up. Oh, I'll tell you in a second. But first of all, I have to tell you a story. Before I go any further, I have to tell you a story. And it's a story about a really mean guy. And the mean guy's name was Saul. Saul. And he was a really mean guy. But he wasn't mean to everybody. Like some people are mean to everybody. But he was only mean to certain people. There's a certain group of people that he was mean to that he really didn't like. You know who these people were?
Christians.
Christians. Yes, he did not like Christians. He couldn't stand Christians. And Christians made him so mad. You see, he didn't believe that Jesus was God's son. He didn't believe that that's who he was. So he got so mad when he saw Christians. And he got so mad that sometimes he would get them arrested. He would go to a town, he would look for them, and then he would get them arrested, and he would take them to jail. But sometimes if he was really mad, he wouldn't just get them arrested. You know what he would do? Yeah, they would line them up against the wall. They'd take a big stone, and then they'd throw the stone, bam, and they'd hit the Christians. And what happens if you get hit too many times with a big stone? Yeah, you die. So sometimes he would even have them stoned. So he did not like Christians. I told you he was a mean guy. So one time, he's riding his donkey to Damascus. He's going to Damascus to arrest more Christians. Wait, that's a horse. What's a donkey do? That's a lot more annoying than a horse. I don't know why you didn't just take a horse. Damascus is a long way away. Okay, it's halfway there. Okay, another time you're reading that. Okay, so he's riding his donkey to Damascus to arrest more Christians. He wants to go arrest more Christians. And on the way, all of a sudden, this bright light. It's all around him. He can't see anything. There's this bright light that's complete, just like that. A bright light completely surrounding him, and he cannot see anything at all. So now they're really scared. What's going on? I said, there's this really bright light. I can't see anything at all. And then all of a sudden, he hears a voice talking. He hears this big voice talking. And you know who it was talking?
God!
Yeah, it was God. It was Jesus talking. But the funny thing was he couldn't see God. See, there was this big bright light. He couldn't see God, but he could hear him. He could hear him. And even though he couldn't see him, Paul knew that it had to be God. You see, sometimes we are affected by things that we can't see. Sometimes we can't see things, but they can still, we can still feel them, or we still know that they're around there. Can you think of any examples of something that can affect you that you can't see? Heat. Yeah. Like if you go out in the sun, right? Even if you can't see the sun, if it's behind something, you can still feel the heat from it on a hot day. Elizabeth? Wind, yeah, right. You can't see wind, right? Can you feel it? Yeah, you can't see it, but you can feel it. Kai? Light, okay. Yes. It's like lightning, right? Like you might not be able to see the lightning, but you can still hear the thunder going off, right? Done? Okay, oxygen, yeah, you can't see it, but everybody go, ooh. You didn't die, did you? So there still must be oxygen here, Mac.
I can see the light.
No, there's no oxygen in the water, so don't go in the water. You'll probably have a good time. You'll not have a good time. Okay. What?
I can see light.
Yeah, you can see light. Yeah, exactly. There's one other thing. I said earthquakes, right? Right? You can feel an earthquake. You can't see an earthquake, but you can feel an earthquake, right? Yeah? And the other thing is microwaves. Wait a minute, you guys can see the microwave, can't you?
Yeah.
Yes, but you know why it's called a microwave? Because it cooks with microwaves. It's called a microwave because it cooks with microwaves. And microwaves are so neat. Microwaves are so neat because it heats up our food, but we're not really sure how, because when you look inside, you really don't see anything happening, do you? It's not the light. See, what happens is right here in the center, right here in the middle, is something that's called a magnetron. Can everybody say that? Magnetron. Yeah, say it like he's a transformer. Magnetron. That was kind of like the devil. Okay, he's a scary transformer. transformer. Okay, so there's a magnetron in here, and what happens when you push this button is this magnetron turns on. And outside of this magnetron, it shoots microwaves up into the air, but you can't see them. You can't see the microwaves that are going on up here. But what it actually does is the microwaves come up, and then it excites, or it makes H2O, which is water molecules, makes them get really excited, and they start to shake. They start to dance, and then the microwaves come, and they shake faster, and they shake faster, and they shake faster, and they shake faster. Oh, I stepped on your foot. Okay. And they shake so fast. They shake so fast you can't see them shaking, but they shake so fast. Do you know what they make? Heat. They make heat, and that's how your food gets hot. But we can't see it happening. We can't see the microwaves coming up, but we can put things in the microwave, and then we can see what they actually do to it. Like stuff back here. This bag. I'm not going to cook the sun chips.
The chips?
No. The bag. Now you're never supposed to put metal into a microwave. This is a metal bag. You know why? Because microwaves don't like metal. But when you put this in, and then you turn it on, you can see the effects of the microwaves. Everybody watching? You know what you have, don't you? See that? It's so small, you can still see the writing on the back though. Isn't that neat? Now we couldn't see the microwaves, all we did was turn it on and we made them shoot into it. And then, can you have the little bag of sun chips? You can have it afterwards, but it's hot right now, okay? So I'll set it right here, and you can have it after it's done. Okay, so you can't see the microwaves. You can't see the microwaves coming up. Yes? I don't have another bag, I'm sorry. But I can cook something else. How about I cook something else? Because there's other things that you can put in the microwave. Like some people put food in the microwave, but that's boring. You can put soap in the microwave. You know that? Don't say anything yet. Okay, so you take a bar of soap, and it has to be ivory soap. This is the only soap that has to work with. And then you go ahead and you put it in the center of the microwave. And at first, it really doesn't look like anything's happening. It's like, that's boring. Who puts soap in a microwave? But keep watching. Did you see it?
It smells bad.
Can you guys see it?
It's getting huge.
No, it's not going to explode.
Yeah, that's not going to explode. Sure.
Look at that. Now it's really hot, so you guys can't touch this. But look, you can still see the soap in the middle. See the soap in the middle? Yeah, but it was hot. But you would do that.
Now you have lots more soap.
Yes, yeah, they have lots more soap. You see, that's why, everybody sit down. That's why microwaves are great, because you can put things in them, and even though you can't see the little microwaves that are coming up, you can see the effects that are happening. You can see the changes that it makes to it, and that is great. And just like a microwave, God can affect you. God can change you, even when you can't see Him. Did you know that you can't see God right now, but He's everywhere? He's here with us right now. He's Right behind that painting. Yeah, he's everywhere. He's everywhere in the building. He's everywhere. He's always with us. When we're at home, he's with us. When we're at work, you guys have jobs, right? No? Good. Okay. Better get a job, lazy people. Okay, when you're at work, when you're at school, he's there with you. God is with you everywhere. And even though you can't see him, he is still there with you. Now let's get back to Saul for a second. Do you guys remember the blinding light? Remember that light that was all around him? And we remember that Saul couldn't see God. He couldn't see him, but he could hear him, and God was there. And Saul is scared because this light blinds him. And then he hears this voice, and it says this: Saul, Saul, why are you hurting me? Saul's like, oh. And Saul says, well, who are you? And the voice says, I'm Jesus, and you're hurting my followers. You see, Saul didn't think that Jesus was real. He didn't think that Jesus was real, and that's why he was being so mean to Christians, because he didn't know he was real. And now Saul is really scared. He's scared because he doesn't know what Jesus is going to do to him for killing and for arresting and for hurting all of his friends. I mean, think about it. If Saul came to your house and he killed all of your family and your friends and he put the other ones in jail, what would you want to do to Saul? What would you want to do to him? Kill him? Kick him in the crotch? Okay, yes. Okay. Hit him in the butt? Okay. Shoot him? Okay, I'm not repeating that one. Keep going. Hit him in a bad spot? Oh my goodness, I hope I never make you people mad.
Take a shotgun right through.
Take a shot like it's a zombie. Put him in a giant microwave and then put him in a... Are you cooking him first before you put him in the freezer? So you're cooking him in the microwave and then you're putting him in the freezer. Okay, so needless to say, we would all want to do mean things to Saul, right? I mean, if Saul hurt us, we would want to do mean things back to him. Yeah. Well, Jesus tells him this. He hears the voice again. Is everybody listening? Is everybody listening? Yes? Okay, so he hears the voice again, and the voice says, go into the city and stay there. And when you get there, I will tell you what to do. And the light goes away. The voice goes away, the light goes away. But when Saul opens his eyes, he can't see. He can't see anything. He's blind. He's got things over his eyes. They're kind of like scales, like snake scales or alligator scales are over his eyes. And he can't see anything. So now Saul is scared. He thinks, what am I going to do? If I go there, Jesus might be real mad at me and he might hurt me. So Saul is this terrible guy, and Jesus tells him, go into the city and wait until I tell you what to do. What do you think Jesus is going to do to him? I mean, we were going to do all these mean things to him. What is Jesus going to do to him? Because, I mean, after all, Saul is mean, and there's no way that he can change, right? He's just a mean guy. Why would he change to be something nicer? I have another experiment about change. Let me show you this one. We have 3 cups up here. We have A, B, and C. Now we have cup A. It looks pretty clear, right? Pretty clear? Not too bad. And we have cup B. How does cup B look? Brown or red, yeah. There's iodine in cup B. So we take 1 teaspoon from cup A, and we pour it into cup B. Can you see it changing? Oh! Okay, it looks like water, yeah. Isn't that amazing? So here's what we do. We take B and we pour it into C. Now C is just a little bit cloudy, and B is white. So you think, what's it going to do? Well, I guess it's going to make it look kind of like milk, right? Because that's what it kind of looks like. So we pour it, we pour it, pour it, and we pour it, and we pour it, and we pour it, and what's going to happen to it? Keep watching it. Let's see if anything happens. Alright. Huh. Nothing. Don't you think something should happen to it?
Yeah.
It'd be a much cooler experiment or something.
Look at your mind.
What? With my mind? Will it? Easy, easy. Oh, I hurt myself. Okay, maybe magic words instead. Anybody know any magic words?
Focus, focus.
Hocus pocus something something. Abracadabra! What? Change now or I'll punch you. I'm serious. I'm really serious. Keep watching.
It worked.
Whoa. Wow. Okay, so it went from a little bit cloudy. We started with just a little bit cloudy, and then this was a brown one, remember? And we changed that to what? Clear. And then this one kind of looked like milk. And what did we change it into?
Black.
Yeah, it kind of looks like grape juice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Drink it.
I am not drinking that.
Drink it. Drink it. You said you would.
What's that? Yeah, but it wouldn't change it. All it would do is just add a little bit to it. It wouldn't change it. And the reason that is because there's different chemicals in each one. Chemicals react differently. And actually in this chemical, what we have is we have vitamin C in cup A. And then in cup B, we have iodine. And in cup C, we have cornstarch. So the vitamin C turns the iodine clear. But then the iodine, even though it's clear, it comes in here in the cornstarch. They have a big fight. They're battling back and forth, and they're punching each other, and they're kicking each other. And then finally, the iodine wins out and turns it back into this black color. But what it shows you is that how quickly did these things change? When I put the one into the brown one, how fast did that change? Fast, yeah. All you had to do is stir it a little bit. And then when this one finally decided to go, when I told it I was going to punch it if it didn't, how fast did it change? Yeah, just like that. And it changed just like that. And that's what's crazy. That's what's crazy. Sometimes things can change so fast that you can barely even see it happening. And then all of a sudden they change. All of a sudden they're better. And this is what happens with Saul. You see, Saul goes to the house where he's told to go to, and he waits. And then Jesus, God sends another person to talk to Saul, and says, Saul, listen, you've been hurting Christians who believe in Jesus. Jesus says he doesn't want you to do that anymore. Jesus says that he wants you to listen and follow him. Jesus says he wants you to love him and to love Christians instead. And do you know what happened to Paul? Instead of Jesus getting mad at him, do you know what happened to Saul? He changed. He changed. And just like that, he wasn't mean anymore. And just like that, he didn't hate Christians anymore. He actually became a Christian. Instead of being mad at them, he loved them. And he was one of the best Christians ever. And he told everybody about how much Jesus loves them. And he even changed his name from Saul to Paul, to tell everybody how much he had changed. You see, we can all change. We can change. Now, I know that just like Saul, sometimes we're mean, right? We all said that we're mean. Some of us are mean to our cats. A lot of us are mean to our brothers or to our sisters. But we're all mean, and we think, I'm always going to be mean. But that's not the case. You see, you can change. Just like Saul changed to Paul, you can change. And if you promise here today, and if you ask God to help you to stop being mean to your sisters or to your moms or to your cats or to your friends or whoever it is you're mean to, he will help you. And just like this stuff can change just like that, you can change just like that too if you ask God to help you and if you promise to him that you will no longer be mean. Okay? Do you guys understand that? Okay, let's pray real quick so that we can remember that, okay? Dear God, we thank you that just like Saul, we have the chance to stop being mean to those people that we love, God. Sometimes we're just so mean to our brothers and our sisters and our moms and our cats and all of those people, but we ask that you would help us, God. Help us to be like Saul and to change from being a mean person into being a really, really nice person, God. We ask this in Jesus' name, and everybody said, amen. Okay, guys, thank you. You can go sit down.
Pushing me.